Hello,
Welcome back,
friends.
everyone. Welcome back.
Welcome
Drink
back.
tea.
Deal with medicines.
Tea with medicines. Here you go with the medicines.
Medicines and goals.
This is
So,
an after 30
After
podcast.
35 podcasts.
what do you guys think about the game week? Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
some shockers.
Some shockers, yes. And I think I know what you believe were shockers.
No, United, I wouldn't put them as shocker. It was an expected result. Though we had predicted them to win, but
Yeah,
we have accepted defeat.
yeah. I mean, I was more shocked about Tottenham, to be honest.
I am
I
not shocked about Tottenham. The
Uh,
moment United concede a goal, Tottenham in 5 minutes need to concede a goal.
it's
The moment
it's like
Tottenham
they are
concede a
going
you
goal,
do
hand in hand.
something, I'll do it
yes, I'll
better.
do something. You want to finish 16? No, I want to finish 17.
I would say
So
the shocker of the game week, and we'll come to it later, but let's start with the main fixture of the game week
Yeah, the more
first.
meaningful one.
The
the
meaningful
I
more
one.
the
think,
meaningful one. Yep.
yeah, Newcastle versus
Newcastle.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
I think we all had predicted a Newcastle win,
Mhm.
Hmm.
and we thought that Chelsea were going to score because of Nicholas Jackson coming back, Cole Palmer playing, but they did not score. I think me and Amay had predicted a 3-1 win. Sushan had predicted 3-2 win, and
Mhm.
eventually Newcastle won 2-0.
Yeah.
Uh, so first, I think it was Tonali who scored in. I think in the first or second
Second,
minute itself.
first minute. Yeah,
Yeah,
just after
first
first
minute.
minute.
Yeah, a
First
second minute.
minute,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
second minute, and then late after that,
Bruno
again I think it
Guimaraes.
was
Guimaraes.
Gumares.
Bruno
Guimaraes.
Guimaraes, exactly.
Gumares. Yeah.
However, and then Chelsea were down to 10 men.
Mm.
But one of the things which I did see was Chelsea literally fought back. They were very very
They
close
were
to.
trying
Mm,
very hard, and there was a chance, a glorious chance for Reece James at the very end, from a
Yes,
Cucurella cross, I believe.
yes, yes.
He just headed over the bar, and then that came back to haunt them. And Bruno Guimaraes scored on the other end.
Yep.
But Chelsea
yep.
did put up a fight, and Amir and I, we were talking about it as well. Like Chelsea are snatching victories. They were, I'd say, unlucky to come out at 2-0.
Yep.
Mm,
Probably 2-1 would have still been a fair assessment of their performance. A close defeat, but the scoreline doesn't reflect the performance that Chelsea put in.
True.
yep. They
True.
certainly had their chances. I think they were missing that one man.
Yeah,
They were one man short
a
at
stupid
35,
red
and
card
yeah,
by
yep.
Yeah,
Jackson.
stupid red card by Jackson. To be honest.
Unnecessary.
And that too
Yep.
coming at a time when you know you are fighting for a European position, you are in a good place to qualify for Champions League. He's the main man up front,
Man,
and
exactly.
getting a red card at this late stage, he's missing the next match. It's a direct red, right? So he'll
It's
miss
a
Yes,
direct
a
both
red.
the
direct
matches.
Yep,
red.
yep,
Yes,
He'll
direct
yes.
miss
red.
both the matches now.
Yep.
So his season
And
is over.
with that being said, Chelsea are gonna face Manchester United next.
So it's an
Uh,
easy win.
Yeah.
again, with United, you can never say when they play tough opponents. At least opponents which are like the big six, basically. They
Mhm.
turn
Mm.
up really well. So
But
you.
Well, I
considering,
hope that happens in next couple of weeks as well. So yeah.
well, I'd say I wouldn't put United, like I wouldn't bet on United for the next game for sure, because they would be resting their key players
Yep,
ahead
yep.
of their of midweek final next week.
Oh, it's
Uh,
already here.
Yeah,
21st, right?
Hmm.
21st. Yep, yep.
Hmm.
So yeah, they'll be resting their star players, and they'll be giving chance to the youngsters. So I wouldn't bet on United to come out with a
Come
point
on.
in
Yep,
that game.
yep,
Hmm.
yep.
Hmm.
Probably a good time for Chelsea to maybe just seal
I feel
their
Chelsea's
position.
test for the Champions League would be the game after that, the final game against
Final. Yep.
Nottingham Forest.
Yep.
Mm.
And
But
Chelsea
with,
are playing away, right?
I think yeah, it's
Yeah,
Forest home.
it's at
Yes.
Forest home.
Yep.
So that could be a
Yep.
challenge for them. But yeah, overall, I'd say uh, points dropped, put fighting spirit shown by Chelsea, but points dropped eventually, and it's going to hurt them.
Exactly. Exactly. I think one of the things which I still stand by, and then again, not discarding Newcastle, amazing at home, except when they were defeated 4-1 by
Mm.
Bournemouth. But they've been really, really good
Brighton.
again.
No, sorry,
Oh
not
no,
Brighton. Aston
it
Villa.
was
Aston Villa.
Villa. It was
yeah,
Villa.
Villa.
Villa. Yeah.
4-1. Yeah.
One thing which is shocking, or like Newcastle play Arsenal next,
Mhm.
the winner goes like if Newcastle win that, they go second.
Yeah.
Mm.
If they even draw, they go they are third, but they still have a chance to compete against Arsenal in the next game, like the penultimate round.
Yeah.
Mm. Yep.
I wouldn't put a victory of Newcastle against Arsenal at the Emirates.
So if Arsenal win that, then they're assured of they're
Yes, then
mostly
they are
assured
Yep.
of the
assured.
second position.
Yes,
Yep. Yep.
yes. They still not actually, because if they win, they go on 71 points. If they lose the last match, they are on 71. And if City wins both of their matches, they get
But
71.
it depends again on the
73.
goal
Yep.
difference, right?
Yeah, Arsenal have a very good goal difference.
Yeah.
They have
Yep.
like a
Yep.
plus
Yep.
9 against Chelsea or against City.
City.
Yep. But again, Newcastle with their red hot form, I think might give a very, very tough fight to Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. It's
And
anyone's
this
game.
isn't, it's
Yeah.
anyone's game. And then switching over, right? Arsenal did fight back against Liverpool from 2-0 to 2-2.
Mhm.
But again,
Mm.
as we had predicted, Liverpool are
Liverpool
just,
showed up in the first half. They did not show up in the second half.
Yeah.
yep,
Yep. Yep. Liverpool,
exactly.
like probably they just gave
So,
their fans some,
so
some
I was
happiness at
reading
start.
I was looking at an reel in Instagram,
Yep,
and it seems that all the top English clubs have made it to a final except for Arsenal. So basically, like Liverpool, like they have a chance at trophy. So Liverpool won the league.
yep.
City are in the FA Cup final against Crystal Palace.
Newcastle won
Chelsea
the
are
Carabao. Yep,
Yeah, Newcastle won
Mm.
the Carabao. Chelsea are playing the finals against Real Betis,
Better. So,
and Spurs and United are competing in the Europa League final. So all the big teams except for Arsenal are competing for a trophy now.
as expected. I think there was a banner in Anfield saying Arteta is a bridesmaid.
Yeah.
Always comes second.
well,
Again, not
they did win the trophy. Like they defeated Real Madrid. That's a big
yeah, that's
trophy.
the main one, right? Like that's
Uh,
their entire season right now. Like we beat Real Madrid or we beat City 5-1.
Yeah.
yeah.
So that is what they are up to. Again, if they get a proper striker next year, I wouldn't rule them out from winning the league. But again, they need to get a striker.
But the thing
And
about this Arsenal team is, and we have mentioned this previously, is that they are heavily reliant on set pieces.
Mm.
They
yes,
aren't like creating good goals. I know they've been hampered by injuries, but like if you look at the player who's injured, uh, Havertz,
yep,
well, he's again like a physical presence. He's not. He used to be a technical player, but he's somehow lost his touch.
yep,
Uh, and
Yeah, no, but I think the most haunting injury was Saka,
Saka.
who was their
Even
Saka,
set
after,
piece specialist,
yep,
and plus who was creating like field goals as well.
yeah, he was probably
Um,
the only player I'd say who was free flowing in attack.
yep,
Uh,
yep,
Odegaard just spraying passes here and there, giving side passes similar to what Jorginho used to do
yep,
for Chelsea. Uh, and I believe all the hype that Odegaard has around him, it should quieten down now. And I feel like it. Even Arsenal fans are starting to notice that.
yep.
mm,
Exactly. I think their only good player except Saka is Rice. That's the only
Mhm.
solid player they have. Maybe Zubamendi is coming in next year,
Yeah.
so maybe Rice plays further forward. It
So
might be
they'll
Rice.
be creating a team of all
there's there's
center
also
midfielders.
Exactly. Exactly.
chance of Gyökeres, like Amorim's
Mhm.
favorite person.
Yep.
They're saying that there are rumors that he's preferring Arsenal over United. That I think will heavily depend on if United qualify for CL or no.
Yeah.
Like a lot of
Yeah.
transfers will depend on it, but yeah, as of now, it looks like he's preferring Arsenal.
I think it's better that he prefers Arsenal. The reason being, you can never ever trust strikers who grow up in Portugal and score like crazy in
Mhm.
Portugal.
Yeah, there
Oh,
have been many
Darwin
infamous
Nunes, not Nicholas Jackson. I think the one who Atletico Madrid had bought.
Joao Felix,
Joao Felix. There was
Felix, yeah.
there was one more.
uh, Nick, Jackson Martinez.
Jackson Martinez, correct. Jackson Martinez. So these big money moves from Benfica, from Sporting,
There have been
they
many flops. Even Mehdi Taremi, who plays for
Mm.
Inter.
yep,
I'm not sure if he still plays, but he was there in Inter. He was scoring heavily in the Portuguese Liga, but he flopped at Inter.
I think there are like a lot of strikers which are like that. So don't ever believe the 64 goals assist in the
And
Portuguese
even
league.
not just the strikers, like players who are shining in Portuguese league, even be it Enzo Fernandez, he's not like
Mm.
super impressive
Or
for his
Ricardo
price
Quaresma.
tag. Ricardo Quaresma was still decent. I'd say he won the Champions League with.
Inter.
Did he win the Champions League with Chelsea? No, Ricardo Quaresma. Sorry, no, he did not win with Chelsea. No,
Inter, I think.
even with Inter, yeah, he might have won with Inter.
Yep.
He was kind of a journeyman.
Barcelona,
Mm.
Inter. Like he was just
Chelsea,
going
He
everywhere.
played for the top clubs, like
yeah.
Yep. Yep.
certainly did.
Okay, coming back to the PL, so we covered Liverpool and Arsenal. And what do you say about Liverpool? Like they were just enjoying. And I saw the photo. The one thing I'd like to point out is the booing of Trent Alexander-Arnold. So
Sad.
Justified. Sad.
Man, it's sad. Sad. Like, I mean, that guy gave everything he had. Yeah. I mean, well,
Except getting transfer money for him.
well, that was, I think it goes both ways, right? The club also, like, he wanted to go last year as well. Could have fetched like maybe 30-40 million, considering he was in last year of
Yep.
his contract, but they didn't let him go. And he, of course, he didn't force his transfer in, transfer out. So, um, I
Well,
feel sad whenever such thing happens.
Lokent, I have one question for you here.
yep.
So I was reading a stat where 2 years in succession, Trent Alexander-Arnold has been the player who's been dribbled past the most. Do you think having a more solid, like obviously he's pretty good at crossing and passing,
Yep.
it's pretty evident from his game. But would you like to swap for a player who's better at defending?
I would say yes. The reason being, again, I have been a very conservative person when it comes to like defending, where a right back or a left back has to first defend, then you go into attack.
Mhm.
And considering that you have Salah on the same wing where Trent plays, that that wing is heavily exposed because Salah doesn't track
Right.
back, and then Trent doesn't track back. And if you remember the game 2-0 at Etihad,
Mhm.
which Liverpool won, they were extremely lucky that they did not have Haaland. Like City did not have Haaland
Mhm.
that day.
Mm.
Doku literally had consumed Trent.
Mhm.
Like
Mm.
Trent literally gave like a 3-on-10 performance, but just because Liverpool won 2-0, he was saved. And there have been countless times that has happened where Trent has just gone missing in terms of defense. He just want to attack. And like as a Liverpool fan, right? Like again, amazing at crossing, but his primary thing is defense,
Yeah.
not something else. So there is talks of Jeremy Frimpong, again a very
Mhm.
attacking right
Yeah.
back. I've not seen him defend, so again, not sure.
Dumfries are kind of they're more wing backs than this thing. Uh,
Exactly.
so they are more heavily focused. They are better when a team is playing with three center backs,
Yep,
and they could be exposed when playing with two center backs.
exactly.
Mm.
And then even Virgil van Dijk had to cover so much when
Mhm.
Trent used to go forward, and it kind of, and then because Liverpool doesn't play with like an out and out number six, it gets difficult when Trent
Yeah.
goes forward. Again, going to Madrid, like I think the La Liga has more technical players, has more dribblers, and I think Trent is gonna face a beating. Madrid fans are not as convenient, or like they don't let go like the
Yeah.
Liverpool fans,
Oh yeah,
and yeah,
brutal. They're brutal.
especially when you are coming as a replacement or taking over from Carvajal, who was an
And you're
absolute
considered to
beast
be a
of a.
Galactico player.
Yep.
Yep, yep, yep.
And again, it's going, so not talking about uh, Trent a lot, but again, Real Madrid are going the same way when they had done in the 2000s,
Mhm.
where they bought, again, they did not spend money for the player, but again, they are going towards that attacking lineup
Yeah.
and throwing the team off again in terms of the shape.
Well, even if you remember when Ronaldo, Kaká, and everyone came in, right? It took them 5 or 6 years to get their first UCL after
Yep.
that.
Mm.
So it wasn't an easy transition for those star attacking players too. Like they won, I believe the first one was 14-15.
Yep.
And Ronaldo and others came, Kaká, Ronaldo and Benzema, they came
2008.
in 2008-09.
Eight,
Yep.
nine. Yep.
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 So,
Again, if you look at the team, right, it
mhm,
was proper two center backs. Carvajal was playing,
yeah,
and I think on
Ramos,
the yeah, Ramos, Pepe. I
Pepe, Ramos,
don't remember who the left back was. I think it was
Marcelo.
Marcelo. Again,
Marcelo. Yep.
a proper defender. He used
Yeah,
to go forward, but
he
he used
was
to
good
defend
with
Mm.
as
his
well.
defending as well. Like he was a
Yeah,
good
he was.
attacking.
Yes, he used to track back. He used to make sure that nobody gets past him.
Correct.
Um, and even the
Casemiro.
right, yeah, Casemiro, of course, he was like one of their main pillars there, making
They
Correct.
sure
had a
the
strong
defense
midfield, right? With
stays. Yep.
Casemiro
Yes. Cruz,
coming in front
Modric.
of the defenders and Cruz and Modric who were the passers in the game.
So again, Madrid are currently in transition where they're again buying attacking players
Yeah.
and not caring about like they don't have like a world class CDM in Chouameni. They
Hmm.
Mm.
don't have Kamavinga has been out of form. So they might be in for a struggle. Again, I every
Ideally, a player
Liverpool,
like Zubimendi should have gone to Real Madrid.
yes,
Mm.
yes. But again, he is not like a Galactico, right? So
Yeah.
Mm.
that's why. Again, as I said before, right? Any player who has left Liverpool in their prime, like in the sense Liverpool are in their prime right now,
Hmm.
has not fared
True.
well, and that might just come back to haunt Trent as well. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So moving ahead to the next match, we can go look at Man United versus West Ham.
A pretty poor result, I would say, but I think West Ham were just lucky in that game. Like
Yep.
two
Yep.
shots, two goals.
So United started the game really well. They were looking very solid, but then they conceded the goal, and again, like they conceded the goal in the second half. And United had two good chances. One was, I believe, Højlund, and the other one was Garnacho, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
And they skewed their skewed
Mm.
their shots.
I think there was one scare in the game when Højlund went down clutching his shoulder,
Yeah.
and literally Amorim was sweating at that time that he is their main striker for the final
Yeah.
because
Yep.
Xerxes is
Yep.
out.
I would have
So
used Ravi Shastri's term, but we are a kid-friendly channel, so I wouldn't use that.
yeah,
Yep.
it was really like it was touch and go when he just got
Yeah.
up and said that no substitution needed.
Mm.
But that
But
was
there have been like multiple posts where I'm seeing Amorim's job could be in doubt.
wow. Hmm.
I
Possibly,
believe
if it
it.
doesn't
Yeah.
get support during summer, I mean, it really depends on the final
Mm.
that we are
Yep.
in. But if he doesn't get support, obviously, he looks frustrated, and maybe like 6 more months, like
Yeah.
Hmm.
till December probably. If he
Yep.
doesn't show, like finishing even 14th is not acceptable. Forget about 17th, just about relegation. I mean, not point wise, but
Yep.
place wise, So that's not acceptable at all. The only
Even
saving
his
grace will be Europa.
The
Europa League.
Europa.
If we let Tottenham win their first trophy ever, then I
Then yeah,
don't,
we'll be
I
the
don't,
butt of all jokes.
yeah,
And
exactly.
even Amorim in his post-match conference emphasized that point that even though we are in the finals of Europa, we still the league position is still not acceptable.
Acceptable.
Yep.
Yep, yep. I think he has said it twice or thrice when people have asked him, even before the previous, the win against Bilbao,
Silva.
Hmm.
the last one. So he he said it multiple times that this is not acceptable, and even if we win the Europa, I'll still
Yeah.
consider it as a poor season.
Yep.
So
And then there'll
uh,
be if we win Europa, there'll be a barbecue party sponsored by Sir Jim Ratcliffe.
And goods will be
one
from
one
Tesco.
pat
Yeah.
one patty for one
One
person.
patty per person.
Limit one patty per person, no family allowed,
No,
no drinks.
yeah, no spouses or family allowed. I kind of felt when Hoyland went down, right? I kind of thought that he was not going to be taken to like the to Carrington, but he would be taken by NHS. Like currently with Jim Ratcliffe, you
Like
can never be sure.
8 hour wait time.
8 hour wait time.
Uh,
But yeah, poor result, a poor game from United.
I mean,
Like,
I wouldn't call it poor. I mean, obviously, I didn't watch it live because I was watching Del Clasico, but
yeah, good decision.
good decision, exactly.
And
So
that was a
I
really
knew
good
it.
match, to be honest.
I
And
knew
that was
it.
a really good match, to be honest. El
Yeah,
Clasico was
exactly.
amazing.
Not a match to miss. So, um, I mean, I watched the highlights. I was following the stats. So
Mm.
stats wise, I think United were on top. Like,
Yep,
Yeah.
I think we had like 7 or 8 shots on target, 14 or 15 off target or something like that. So stat wise, we were good, but
yep,
the finishing again, like this has been the story of the season. So I'm not surprised. Disappointed, yes, but not really surprised at how it went down.
yep. I think the next game which we can talk about, and I think everyone had high hopes for this one, was Southampton versus
Yeah.
Man City. And Man City are been roasted, or Rúben Dias has been roasted on Instagram, saying
From
that Southampton,
Southampton's official account.
which was hilarious.
Imagine.
But
But
I was
Southampton,
actually looking, I was watching the game live, and City were playing pedestrian.
yes,
They
yes,
weren't creating any outstanding chances. I don't recollect Ramsdale making any outstanding save per se. They were just pedestrian. Haaland, I think he should have been not. He shouldn't have been
yep,
given a start and rather
Yep,
got in as
yep, yep.
substitute,
yep,
because he clearly wasn't looking fit enough to start the game. I know he's come from a long time injury, and this could have been a good game for him to get that confidence back. But yeah, like 90 minutes, high pressure match, and especially considering you are chasing the second position and you
yep.
are
Mm.
in form of in a good form for past several weeks. Start with Marmoush and then probably get Haaland as a sub when even the Southampton players would be tired.
Correct, exactly. And Southampton clear that 11-point hurdle, so they
Yeah,
are not the worst team in the league or in the Premier League
history.
anymore
Yeah.
in the history. And I
That's
kind
that's
of
like them winning the title, man.
exactly, exactly, and then roasting Ruben Diaz on top of it. So, which was really good. I think Guardiola might had a fight with his wife before he came to the game, because the moment he has
The
that,
tactics
the
sucked, yeah.
tactics just go. I kind of now feel his wife the real mastermind. Like, so
Possibly.
possibly. The other shocking result, as per I think we had not predicted, this was Forest versus Leicester. Leicester literally
Mm.
fighting back against
Leicester have
uh,
won 4 points from the last two games.
yep,
Imagine if
after
they would
relegation.
have, yeah, imagine they did that a few weeks back and United would have been in relegation fight for sure.
It's like your boards are done and now you're studying.
Yeah.
So
You're preparing for the KT.
you're preparing for
Uh,
the KT. But
But
again,
yeah, a good
that
fight put up by Leicester at the end. And Nottingham Forest, I'd say they dropped 2 easy points, which was demonstrated by their owner coming onto the pitch and giving a
Nuno.
mouthful to Nuno.
Yep.
yep, yep,
And
yep.
one thing, also a really sad incident taking place
Yes.
was Taiwo Avoni. He hit the goal post. He hit his stomach, I believe. And then
Mm.
he tried to play on, but then news coming in today that he's been in induced coma. So hope he recovers soon from that.
Yeah, our thoughts and
Yep, yep.
prayers with
Yeah,
the player and his family. But again, one and then this actually might affect Nottingham season, considering they just have 2 games to go and they could have finished. They were looking third, like
for a
comfortably
long time.
for a
Mm.
long time, but their drop off wasn't really bad.
Yep,
Hmm.
yep.
So
And like the next two game, I think one is against
The
the
Chelsea,
last
final
one
is
is
against
Chelsea, of
Chelsea.
course. Yeah.
yep,
So that's like make or break season, I
Next
think.
is Ipswich, if I'm not wrong. Next will be
No, I think it
NEC.
was West Ham, if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
West Ham?
hmm,
West Ham away. So that like West Ham home, basically.
Oh yeah,
They're
so
they're
West
playing
Ham,
uh,
London
they're playing
Stadium.
West Ham away. So uh West
again
Ham
a sure,
obviously,
yeah.
yeah, it's a tough game. Uh
Mm.
Especially West Ham might be high on confidence with the 2-0
yep,
win. So
yep.
the next game I think which has of some importance is Bournemouth versus Aston Villa. Villa winning 1-0, and again putting their name back in the Champions League
So
places
they are tied on points with
with Chelsea.
Chelsea, but
Yes.
goal difference is holding them place behind.
Correct, and they play Spurs on 16th, which
Yeah.
is 3 days, and Spurs again might just rest their entire team.
Yep.
I'm hearing that Might will be playing in midfield that day because either his players might be rested or injured. So it's a high possibility.
Yeah,
But again,
crucial point for Aston Villa.
a really good 3 points against Bournemouth,
Bournemouth, and that too away.
Mm.
and that two
Yep.
away.
Yep.
I think the last 3 games are Spurs versus Crystal Palace, Ipswich, Brentford, and Fulham. Spurs again. Spurs being Spurs, losing 2-0 at home to
Yeah,
Crystal Palace.
if United lose, we'll lose by the same margin.
And I think Crystal Palace scored 5 goals in the game, but 3 were ruled on for
Ruled
offside.
offside.
Mm.
Yeah, Everett
Yep.
Eze had a very, very good game.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I'm sure he will be one of the players who will be targeted by other clubs, big clubs next season.
Yep.
Crystal
Yep.
Palace always has a winger and they play
Yeah.
very well, like Michael Olise.
And don't forget Zaha before him.
Yeah, Zaha before him. And I wouldn't be
Yep.
surprised if like a bid comes in for Mateta as well. Like,
United were linked with Mateta, but
hmm.
currently United are in stronger position to for Liam Delap
Oh, okay. Got it.
and
Got it.
Matthias Cunha.
But
Yep.
I'm pretty sure someone is gonna get.
Cunha, rumors have dried up
Oh
totally.
yeah.
The talks are still ongoing. The talks are going in positive direction, but yeah,
Okay.
there hasn't been a progress after that, but the talks are still on.
I think probably everything rests
One
on
person Trent should
21st.
listen or listen from is Matthias Cunha.
Yeah,
Sign a new contract and then go. So,
smart.
and then last but
Wolves,
not the least, I think 2 games. I think this was a shocker in my opinion. Everton winning against Fulham at
yeah.
Mm.
Craven Cottage, that too with 3 goals. That was a shocker.
So goals from Mikolenko, I believe, and then Keane and Beto
Beto.
at the end.
Yep.
Beto. Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yep.
And
And
then last but not the least, Ipswich versus Brentford. Brentford winning 1-0. Uh,
1-0, yeah.
and then
Yep.
I think it
So
was Visa,
Brentford are
but or oh,
also
it was Sharder, I believe.
Kevin
Yeah,
Shada.
Yep.
Brentford are also in. Nah, I think they won't be able to finish
Not in UCL, but
in
they
Europe.
have
Not in
position
UCL,
like
but they have. I mean, eighth position will go to
conference.
Conference.
Yeah.
Conference League. Yep.
Yep,
So,
it's
and
between
that
them,
that
Brighton,
really
Bournemouth.
depends
Yeah.
as well for Crystal Palace as well. Like if they win, I think they will
No, I'd say
qualify
Yes.
for
Crystal Palace
Europe.
are kind of behind.
No, if they win FA,
No,
Oh,
no,
they
he's
win
talking
FA
about
Cup.
FA Cup
FA Cup.
final.
Yeah,
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 they will
yeah.
they
You're
will
right.
go to Europe. I mean Europa, and possibly, I don't know what will happen to the eighth place then.
Hmm.
So the eighth place. Let's see. So
Will it
if
still go?
Crystal, no,
No, then
Then
it,
no,
it
right?
doesn't
no,
Yeah,
go to 8. I think it goes to 7 then.
7. Yep. Okay.
seventh.
Yep.
So because sixth place will be going to Europa, and
Correct.
then the winner of FA Cup. So that then and then the seventh would go to conference. So yeah,
Conference.
Conference. Yep.
Yes.
And not to forget, one of the 16th and 17th will go to
yeah,
Europa as well. I mean
The
UCL
Champions
as
League.
well. Yeah.
No, to Champions League. Yep.
champions.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
I believe we are left with one more game, Wolves Brighton. We did
Oh
not
yeah.
cover that.
A
oh yeah.
So
2-0
Yeah.
victory to Brighton.
and
Again,
surprising victory.
Hmm.
yes. I think a surprising victory, especially with a clean sheet. So,
Yeah.
yep.
So Wolves 2 defeats in the last 2 games after going 6 games undefeated. So a drop in their form. Uh, yeah,
Not that it
I think
matters, but
not
yeah.
that it matters right now.
crucial point for
Yep.
Brighton though.
Yep.
I
Yep.
think I think 2 players who might just go from Wolves would be one was Cunha, and then I would be surprised if no one targets in Nuri. Uh,
Yeah,
Hmm.
a very good left back, a very good defensive left back
mm.
actually. So I would be surprised if no one targets him in the summer.
He could be gone too. Yes, there have been rumors where teams are targeting him. And where did he come from? He's been in Wolves for a long time, right?
Yep, yep. He's been at Wolves from long time. I think he came in from, let's see,
2021, I think.
Angers.
Yeah,
Angers.
Angers.
Yeah.
Yep. Angers.
So let's see. They have been saying that he is likely to stay, but I'll be surprised if no one buys him in the summer.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
Okay, I
Okay.
think
With
I
that
think
that,
wraps up
that's about it.
our week.
yeah.
we'll come back
Next
with.
week is the big one when the
Uh,
Europa League final happens.
Yeah, before that we'll be still reviewing. We have a couple of videos in pipeline. So next up will be European semi-final review
Yep.
and followed by the game week review preview for 37th game week and the FA Cup
37. Yeah.
final.
Yeah. I think
And
the
the FA Cup final.
really some of the best games, I think, or like at least top games are being played now in next 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, we'll hang in.
Thank you
All
all for
right.
joining, guys.
Thank you so much, guys. Cheers.
Please like, share, and subscribe.
Thank you.
Take care.